Okay, we're live. We're live. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so I just got the text, so we're live on all platforms. All right, good evening, good evening. This is Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210, and y'all are tuned into the We're Talking Real Estate. So we're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves here. Let me introduce the panel first, and then we'll go ahead and start the promotion and everything like that. So let's go ahead and combine it all in one. So I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and do it. And we'll start the promotion right before we do the questions. So CJ, go ahead and start with you.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. It's CJ, the broker now, but
Oh,
Broker Greenwood Realty Group. Check me out on social media, CJ Sales Texas. That's CJSELLSTX. Also, check out the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. If you're interested in getting more information on properties, you can fill out the forms there. We can get you set up with getting automatic emails on those properties. Check out the YouTube channel, CJ the Realtor. We're doing our home tours, Lux editions, showing you the ins and outs of these beautiful homes in Houston. So give that a check out. Subscribe to that, share, like all that good stuff. And then our nonprofit, the Mansa Academy. Check out the mansaacademy.org, where we're teaching our young men knowledge of self-improvement, and entrepreneurship. So if you're interested in donating, whether it's time or money, go on there. We got the forms to fill out. Everything's on. Everything that you need is on there. So just check that out and show us some love.
Gotcha, Barry, you're up.
all right. This is Barry Bolston, Keller Williams Professionals. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you can come to my website, homesbybarryb.com. I'm on IG, Facebook, I have a YouTube channel, TikTok. If you go and just Google Homes by Barry B, you'll get me. That's 832-786-1270.
All right, and Azalea, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them where they can find you, what brokers you with, so on and so forth. I don't have any banners for you yet, but
That's
well,
okay. That's I know
well,
I'm the newbie.
right.
So yes, my name is Azalia Mathis. I'm a Houston realtor with Energy Realty, and I'm also the team leader of the Azalia Mathis Homes team. And we basically cover West Houston, Katy, Sugarland, Richmond, and I'm excited to be here with you all. I originally came from Los Angeles, but I've been living in Houston for almost 20 years now. So I consider myself an honorary Houstonian already. And what else? I'm a wife. I have 3 kids, and I've just loved living in West Houston for the last 20 years. I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube and Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me at azalea.realestate, and everywhere else, you can just type in my name, Azalia Mathis.
Gotcha, gotcha. Cool. With that being said, let me go ahead and do my little bit lengthy introduction, and then go ahead and
Here we
let's hop.
go.
Well, I'm pretty quick with mine. I do it every show. So again, Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210 is at BNL Loan also on all social media. So go ahead, tune into that. Go ahead, uh, like, subscribe, so on and so forth. Right now is the best time for mortgages. So, if you're again date the house, I mean date the rate, marry the house. So right now the market, we're going to talk about it a little bit later on. Right now the market is the best time to buy right now. So if you want to get pre-qualified, go to my website www.applywithb.com. Um, if you're looking for one of those nice condos or townhouses or high rise, go to our website www.houstonCondoSales.com. We got all the latest condos. It's curated. It's for Houstonians by Houstonians. So we picking the best of the best, and you can go ahead and join our mailing list, and we'll give you all the listings as soon as they come out. Challenge me. Go to my website, what's today's rates.com. So if you want to find out if you got a good deal, and I got all my rates posted 24/7. So go ahead, go to the website, type your scenario in, and it'll give you live rates. Also, like CJ said, go to the YouTube. My YouTube handle is at Billionaire Loan Officer. We have the three shows that started this. Well, three shows, shows that started this year. We got the House Tours, Lux, and Express. By myself and CJ the Realtor, where we're touring some of the best luxury homes in the Houston area. Also, I got my personal show Behind the Sauce, where I'm showing you, the makings, the lifestyle of starting mortgage brokers and a real estate company from scratch. So you can follow me and follow the lifestyle. Also, we got my podcast, The Power of Ownership, that's been going for 6 years strong. This is the 7th year of the podcast, so we've been going for a minute. We have a couple of hundred episodes. So if you're bored one day, you go through all the episodes and watch my content. Good stuff. Also, you can always call me 832-775-8357. You call me 24/7. I'm available. All right. So see, that wasn't that bad, man. I'm efficient, man. I'm efficient.
You went through them pretty fast this time.
Right, I'm efficient.
Guy.
So, all right. So for all our audience joining us on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. We live on Twitch. We live on YouTube. We live on Twitter. Also, we got the Truth Social and Rumble. So all those, if you're following on one platform, please follow us on the other platforms. We coming live to you every Tuesday, 7:30 to 8:30. So let's go ahead and open up the panel, man. I wanted to talk a little bit this week about, really I want to concentrate on our area. Because we've been trying to, last few weeks, we kind of talked about our goals for 2023, and then we talked about last week about a little bit motivation, what we're motivated by right now. So let's get a little bit more granular about the Houston area and give the customers and give potential agents and stuff like that. What's kind of the areas that you think have the best upside, the best growth, and what on both sides, for first time home buyers and for investors. So what are some of the hot areas? And just don't tell us the area. Give us some scenarios, or give me an example or story, or something like that, or what you're talking about. So kind of dive deep, because people that's in this area kind of want to know. Like I don't really know. I'm not out like that. I'm doing people's loans, but I want to know if I want to move. Hey, if I'm an investor, what's the area and why? So I'll let our guests go first, then we'll chime in from there. So since you're a guest, Azalea, you go ahead and what do you think?
Well, right off the top of my head, I can think of 2 areas that I think are going to explode in the next 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say number one, first of all, Highland Heights, Acre Homes area, they are developing that area so much. There's tons of new construction. I have a listing out there, and literally all the streets around have brand new developments. And so I think that's an area that's going to be really powerful within the next few years there. Benefit of that area too is that a lot of the houses don't have HOA. So you can basically do Airbnb short-term rentals very easily while you're gaining that equity and growing in value. So I think that's one of those areas that we need to watch, because it's going to explode.
Right. And for those that don't know, that might be watching us in a different state, geographically, where is that in Houston?
Sure. So if you consider the 610 and go, I would say probably like a couple miles north. So you'd pass a little bit of the Heights, then the next, I guess, Oak Forest, passing Oak Forest, there would be where I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
So zip code would be 77091.
Gotcha. 77091 you're talking about. That's close to my office at 77092. So
okay.
Yeah, so I'm close to that area. So Barry, we're gonna go I guess counterclockwise. Barry, what you got for us?
I'm seeing a lot of interest from clients, and also I've been getting a lot of messages from builders in that Cypress area. It seems like Cypress is really starting to boom. And a few weeks ago, I was out in that area going around 99, and you can just see the development that's going on 99. Once you get before you even get to 290, and then going back around, you're seeing a lot of development. There's a lot of who is that? Amazon has a new place out there. FedEx has a big place out there now. So people that they're bringing in those jobs, so people are going to start moving out there. I mean, I remember when there was nothing out there. Now it's, you can just see the development just from 99.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bridgeland is one of the big ones. Now,
Bridgeland.
Bridgeland, I wouldn't suggest that. Well, I wouldn't think that would be for first time buyers because their price point is going to be a little higher than for a first time buyer. But for those that you want to move out there, I've been hearing about some people are talking about the traffic, but I mean they've redone 290 about a few years ago, so it's not as bad as it was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Also, Marvita is up there, actually, the lower price point of Bridgeland. So Marvita
But
is
what-
the one.
Oh, okay.
Marvita, yeah. And that's off of 99 as well?
That's off of 99 in that Cypress, like that little corner, 99 and 290 area.
99, 290, yeah.
Right. Gotcha. CJ, what you got?
I think I mentioned it before when we were talking about something in another podcast, another episode, but Edo over by the East River District. So if like for like the younger buyers that still want to be close to downtown and midtown, and even this East River project is going to be a nice mixed-use development where they're going to have a lot of things for young professionals. So if you want that city life, I think that's going to be a good option for you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in that area, I just saw on the news where they were showing how they're going to develop all of that over there into parkland and
They already started, bro. They got apartments already being built. Like they already, they're not playing no games over there.
Right? They have like a city center, kind of like what
yeah.
town center. That's awesome. Yeah.
Right.
Another area I was going to say is Katy, North Katy, like 99 and I-10. There is so much new development there. Katy Asia Town opened over there. There's the university coming over there as well. And they're just developing. That's like by Katy Mills Mall on the other side of I-10.
Yeah.
And tons of new development there. I just closed on a house with a buyer there, a 4-bedroom house for $320, which is fantastic, brand new.
That's pretty good. And I saw the Tiger Woods just opened up a adult putt golf spot out there. It's supposed to be really nice.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to stick with it. Seems like everybody, except Chris is on the west. So I'm gonna stay with the west because I stay on the west. I live in the west. So this is
West side is the best side.
right. This is maybe a little bit ahead, but I'm working on a development now that's outside of the west side of 99 in between Katy and Brookshire. There's 800 homes. Well, it's 788. That lots that's already phase 1 is already sold out. Is going to be called Morrison Lakes. So I'm doing the financing on that particular development. We're getting all that together right now. So, but that's going to be a lot of new homes in that area that I think 5-10 years from now. I'll give you an example. Just like I'm off of 529 and Fry, and I moved there about 10 years ago. And it was the boondocks. It was the country. It was tractors and now there's Walmart, there's Randall's, there's all the convenience, all of the amenities like built right around it. So my house went up $200,000. So for a first-time home buyer, we talked about this a little bit, and that's why I wanted to get granular this week. We talked about it a little bit last week. If you're trying to get that price point, you might have to move out a little bit further. And commute, and that way, as it builds up around you, you're going to build up that equity.
Yeah.
So let's say for my particular home was 185, now it's worth 360.
Yeah.
Less than 10 years. It's right at 9 years, right about now. So, and there was nothing else. I was one of the first in this subdivision that I'm in. So
that's how you want to do it. That's how you want to do it. You want to be one of the first ones.
Right. So for first-time home buyers, because we talked about this last week, yesterday's price or not today's price. So, if you're looking at you're in the ones, that's kind of gone. If you want a decent neighborhood, 100,000, it's at least 2, and that might be a questionable neighborhood. If you want to be sure, you might want to spend 250. So that's where it's at right now. So You know,
Yeah,
so
and that, I mean, that's a big reason why a lot of people move to Katy and Cypress is because of the school systems. They got like two of the best school districts
Right.
in the area. So,
Yeah.
well, you're hopping ahead of me. We're gonna talk about that in a second, but
uh,
you know what I'm saying? But
You're absolutely right because I would say pre-pandemic, if somebody came to me and said, "I approved for 170, let's go find a house," I'd say, "Okay, great. We can find a nice
right,
small 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom starter home. Let's do it."
right,
Now that number for me is 250. If
right,
you
oh,
don't
yeah, yeah,
50, it's going to be a struggle. Like you got to be
right,
prepared. Maybe you might have one with carpet all over the floor, all over the
right,
wood paneling, you
Gonna
might
need some work.
guy,
right.
you
You
know.
got like was it Coming to America? You got somebody chalked out.
Oh no.
you know, you know, you know, but that's the reality,
It's
which is
real.
not.
That's right.
If you look at the national average in our area, it's not that bad. Because if you go, I'm licensed in 6 states. If you go to Georgia, you're not getting anything under 300,000.
hmm
So unless you're in the country part, and you
Yeah.
got to go way out. And
Definitely
Houston,
not Los Angeles.
right? I mean, yeah, you're looking at $1 million
Yeah.
at least. So, but what's going to happen? A lot of people have the mentality of I still could get a note for $1,200-1,500. That's gone. If you're paying minimal down, if you're not paying anything down, that's gone.
Oh yeah, you could barely get rent for that. So,
Right. Rent is
Yeah,
2,000.
that's right.
So we got to get our first-time homebuyers got to get that $1,200-1,500. Don't forget the person that's paying $1,200-1,500 got their house 20 years ago.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's 2023. You're not going to get that price now. So we got to get that out of our head.
2023, you're paying $2,300.
Right. At least $2,000. At least $2,000.
Yeah.
That's 250 with the rate and everything, and the rates have nothing to do with it. So this is what I'm telling first time home buyer. All right, so when the rates drop later on this year, the price is going to increase.
Yep, you'll
Yeah.
be on a bidding war again.
Yeah.
You're not gonna wait out any discount.
No.
Yeah.
I will tell people all day long. I bought my first house in 2007. And my interest rate was 6.5. I had great credit.
Right.
Before I was married, before I had kids, my credit was perfect, lots of income, everything.
Right.
So 6.5% interest rate, you might say that's high. But I bought my house, and now were I to sell it, I've made over $100,000 equity.
Right.
Because,
Exactly.
I mean, regardless of interest rate, you have to say that's already such a big jump. So
Right.
it's always worth it. Now I refinanced in the middle, of course.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
But
you can always refinance. Yeah.
It's crazy. I just seen something. I just looked at a bill. We don't blink an eye at 26.99% on these credit cards.
On a credit card, right?
True.
But you're going crazy over percent for the house, which you could refinance anyway.
Yeah.
Again, date the rate, marry the house.
Right.
So you're not stuck in it. So we 30% interest on these credit cards. We don't bat an eye. 15% on the car. We don't bat an eye.
Right.
But you're listening to the media saying it's a crisis with home, and it's only a percent different than it was before pre-pandemic. I remember right before the pandemic, we thought it was 4s and 5s. It was like, oh man, it's kind of getting kind of high. That's where it was. Is we right back at the 5s? I'm pre-qualifying somebody right now. She got a 706 credit card. I mean, excuse me, 706
Credit score.
credit score.
That's more.
And she's gonna be at 5.875. So the 5s are back.
That ain't
It's
bad.
FHA,
Yep.
but the rates are creeping down a little bit. So I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the sky is falling stuff.
I mean,
No.
media is always going to make, try to get headlines. So media is always going to make it seem like the world is ending, just for people to click and read on the story.
Right.
So,
So let's switch gears because we talked about first time home buyers, or do you think this? Let's talk about investors. Let's talk about you really get your crystal ball out, and what do you see areas, the hot spots or the growth spots for investors? You really got to kind of have the foresight. Because what's happening right now ain't gonna be happening 10 years ago. 10 years from now. I give you another Rosenberg. 10 years ago it was a country. Fosher, even 5 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I think
Fuchsia.
Brookshire gonna be next.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. There's no more room in Katy, so
Yeah, gotta keep
from
going.
downtown all the way west is gone. The only place to do is even further west. So
Gotta keep going.
yeah.
So-
In San Antonio.
Right.
Well, they got Sealy.
Yeah,
they got-
San Antonio.
We're gonna be out in Sealy and Columbus in a minute.
Hey,
So-
while you're saying that, I've received a couple emails from builders with places in Sealy.
Right.
I put out that, hey, I had somebody who's looking for Southwest, and they were like, "Well, is Sealy close enough?" I'm like,
But at the same time, Azalea, you're from LA. What do some of the commutes look like in LA?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. So,
So you're from LA, right? Los Angeles. What do
yes.
some of the commutes look like in Los Angeles?
oh my gosh, forget it. Like, I'll just tell you, I'm going to tell you by telling you a story.
Right.
My husband is from Mississippi.
Okay.
In 2019, we went back to California visiting family. He types in an address into GPS.
Right.
It says 2 hours. And he's
Right.
like, oh yeah, it's only 20 miles. I
Right.
said, I know.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
So that's LA for you right there.
So my point is that in the United States, Houston has become the third largest. So they just passed up Chicago. So why is New York, LA, Houston? So why wouldn't we be similar as far as proximity and traffic? So you might be an hour away from Sealy, but that's where you're going to find that $200,000 price point. And if you got a job in Katy, you might have to, if you was to move to LA, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're one of the we're the third biggest metropolitan. So we got to just put stuff in context.
Yeah.
So you want that cheap, that cheap house note, you might have to make it up in gas money.
Yeah.
Boy.
Or work from home.
I work from home. I work remote.
Yep.
But don't be. A lot of people look at the minute because you got two type of customers. You got the youngster, or even somebody that wants that city life, that want to be close to all the amenities built up. That's a premium.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Location
costs to
is
be in.
everything.
It costs to be in the mix.
Yeah. All dirt is not priced the same.
Right. So if you want that premium slide, you want to be midtown where you can walk and Uber to the bars. That costs.
Location is the most important factor determining value.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That says a lot, right? Location is one of those huge factors.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just trying to put it in context for the average mind because they don't know. They think, all right, a house. Well, it's in Houston. Nah, it's you're paying for the convenience of being around everything that's developed.
Right.
And your question was about investing in Houston, and I was going to say that inside the loop is where I've seen a lot of investment
Right.
close to downtown,
Right.
that Montrose area. I did one. I sold in fact, a childhood friend of mine, mother sold a place off of Griggs. Not well, it's MLK and Griggs. But you got that train coming there that's taking them downtown. And so you have these people that are moving from California and New York and all that. They hit that train and go up. So it's a lot of, this is an area where my grandmother, I was raised in this area, but it's a lot of people coming in and investors buying these homes, 70,000, and they selling them up for 250,000. They're right there on the line. So if they're in the medical field, they can get the medical center, they can go downtown, all of that. So I see inside the loop being real big for investors.
I'm gonna kind of cut the line because I want to piggyback what he's saying, and then we'll go back to But you got to realize too that San Francisco, is the most expensive real estate in the country. Like I think San Francisco is Austin and Maryland, right? has some of the most expensive real estate in the country. So people are moved from California in droves because of the taxes and stuff. So what's expensive to us is not expensive to a Californian. So how that relates to investors is that if I were an investor, I would take some of those homes that's dilapidated, you know, and or buy lots like the piggyback what Barry's saying in the loop, and make those the $1 million townhomes, and you know, put 2 townhomes on 1 lot. You know, and that's the ultimate flip. That would be that's my answer. Like, man, because then I would market that to people coming want to retire from California or coming in from up north, where this is, hey, $1 million, oh, that's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For what you
especially
get.
for the size you get here compared to what they get over there.
Right.
You're talking about 2,500 square feet, man.
Right. That's
They're
a
not getting that
palace.
over there.
Right.
Yeah, that's
so,
a palace over there.
Right. So investor wise, that's deep waters, but it's you know, the high risk, high reward.
But you know what? If you go over there, that 7704 right off 288, that third ward area, you'll see those townhomes right there off of 288 and 59, where it comes right there. You'll see those $300,000 townhomes right there.
Right. So I'll let y'all go. Who will go first on the investor side?
I mean, if you're talking about future, like even when they're talking about putting this bullet train from Houston to Dallas, just get in the way of that. Because that's going to be, they're talking about putting that at the Northwest Mall because it's pretty much a ghost town over there. So you get in proximity to that. You could even, like, as they were saying, short-term Airbnbs, like, because that's right by the Galleria. It's like a 15-minute drive max.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'll go back to saying Acres Homes, Highland Heights. It's the same. It's like a 10-minute commute to the Galleria. Brand new homes for like $350,000. So yeah.
So investor wise, so you think investors should invest in that area right now?
100%. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
For example, I have a listing right now, and if you look on the street, it's a lot of very older homes that are probably like with one strong wind will blow down, right? So, right now, I would say first time home buyer, I would be a little concerned to go move in there myself, but to rent, sure. So if I'm an investor, I would buy the house, rent it out until that whole street is developed. That value is going to skyrocket. I mean, that is such a great area. 10, 15 minutes away from the area, 5 minutes away from Oak Forest. Like you are so close to everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Corey, what's going on, man? You damn near right on time, 8 o'clock. Your time, you know what I mean? Corey time is 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So Corey, introduce yourself. Go ahead, like, you know, you right on time. You can go ahead and jump in on the first question. Go ahead, introduce yourself, and I'll re-ask the question to the audience, and go ahead and chime in.
Yeah, that's Corey Smith, favorite mortgage lender. Short and sweet. Then just fill me in on what we talking about the current topic.
All right, so the question on the panel is, all right, so what's the hot spots, the growth spots, or where you see the highest upside in the Houston area, in our area, on both sides, for first-time home buyers, and then with the second part of the question is, where do you see the hot spot for investors? And not just answer, but go ahead with the strategy, a story, or you know, something that could expand on what you're talking about.
Yeah. So in terms of hotspots, I think there's a lot of hotspots. There's a lot of gentrification going on in Houston, and you know what I'm saying, it's kind of hard to pinpoint which ones is going to be the best spots for first-time home buyers and just investors in general. Investors is more so about the numbers. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily matter where you are. I think Third Ward is always a great location to be at, even though I think a lot of the diamonds and the roughs are, you know, kind of far and few in between in Third Ward. I think Fourth Ward is another place where you can be. Independence Heights is another one. I think anywhere alongside of the 45 North, now that they got that project going on, I think, you know what I'm saying, if you can get somewhere not too far up the freeway, I think you know what I'm saying you're looking at getting a great value add once they break ground and start that expansion project.
Gotcha. So you kind of there's just pockets. Well, for those who don't know, like is watching us or maybe watching us on the replay, Houston is they have no zoning for the most part. So you got pockets everywhere. So you might have a commercial building right in the house right next to it. So it's kind of all over the place. It's different. I'm from Louisiana, so in New Orleans they have a very very strict zone. So you got old houses where old houses. You got new houses where new houses. So it's very very strict on what they put next to each other. So it's a little bit different here. You could have it's kind of almost anything goes. So there's different pockets. You'll go ride down the street and there's a bunch of undeveloped land. Then you ride a little bit longer. Then you got old houses. Then you ride a little bit longer. There's a new development, like all on the same street.
Yeah.
So Houston is different. I'm not sure. Is Los Angeles like that, or is it zone?
Yeah, LA is very like we know certain areas, certain things, and that definitely was a culture shock when I came to Houston. It was like you have a cemetery next to a grocery store, next to a subdivision, and a school, like everything just all together, right?
Right.
So yeah, LA is there's commercial areas, they're strictly commercial.
Gotcha.
You have your residential area, all of them.
Right. So those who don't know, like, so there's what Corey's saying is like there's a bunch of pockets. So you could have a pocket anywhere. You don't have everybody has, and I learned this the hard way when I first came from Louisiana. We'll travel. Well, all right, this store is our favorite store, so we'll go 15 minutes, which is across the whole city. We'll go to that store.
Uh-huh.
Everything is about convenience here. So you have your store here, your Walmart that you go to. You have your Chinese place that you go to. Your Chinese restaurant. Everything is about pockets. I couldn't figure out when I first why do they have a Chick-fil-A here and they got one right down the street? It's a different city.
Right.
It's all about convenience. So.
Mm-hmm.
There's all
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what a lot of people don't understand about Houston, especially with the different cities. I mean, I have relatives that, like I'll put stuff out and I'll say Houston, but it's not real. I mean, for us, I know they know I'm not talking about Houston, but if I say Katy or Spring to somebody that's not from here, they be like, well, where is that? So I just say Houston. They don't understand. You have to be here and down here to understand.
Yeah.
Right.
How it works. I mean, you can be in Katy and never leave Katy,
Right.
and
That's
work, eat, play, everything.
Right.
You know?
I left the house in 2 years down there. I don't need to leave my vicinity. Again,
That's what I'm saying.
So
Shopping, everything.
everything's right here. So
They're doing that intentionally because they know how traffic works here. So all these areas are putting everything you need in that spot, so you don't have to do those long commutes.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's perfect, and that's why most of the investors. This is one of their favorite cities because there's all kind of you can pocket here, pocket there, pocket there, and nobody's going to travel because it's just it's bigger geographically than Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As far
Everything's
as
spread out.
it's more spread out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but switching gears, I got two more questions before we get out of here for the panel. So this one is a softball, and then we'll get to the real one. The last question here was school district. So let's talk about the schools a little bit. Let's talk about. I'm gonna put a twist on it a little bit. So for first-time home buyers, how do they evaluate, and how do they get into these school districts? That the most sought after school districts like Katy and stuff like that. When that you're gonna pay a little bit more tax to get in it, and or if you can't get in that school district, how do you put together a system to where, all right, well, this is the second best school, or so for those who got children, let's talk about the schools, for those who not in our market, enlighten them, so.
Well, you can research school districts. You can go to TEA and you can research, the top school districts. They rank every year. They get a ranking or a letter grade actually from A, I think, to F.
Yeah.
So you can you can go and see
Right.
how their school district is.
Right. So after you know that school district, how real estate wise, what's the best way to get into those school districts if you're on a budget? Give them a strategy. Put them a strategy together.
Well, that's the thing. You talk with your realtor because we're able to filter out homes that are zoned to specific schools.
Right.
So if you don't know price point and you're curious, all right, how much do the houses cost that are zoned to this particular school, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's too much in this one, that's why you should categorize, get a list of favorites or ones that you're interested in and take a look like that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other thing is to make sure that you're saying you're going to be competitive when you're going for these houses, because just like you're looking for good school districts, just like you're looking for good houses, everybody else is. So the competition is going to be a little bit more stiffer when it comes to actually being in good school districts, good areas. So I think the best way, is to understand how much, if you want to be in a specific area, understand how much you need to actually budget. And maybe you have to give a little bit. Maybe you can't have that extra pool or whatever the case may be. But you want to make sure that you're competitive when you come with your offer, because, the competition is going to be stiff in good school districts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Azalea, you want that?
Actually, I used to be a school teacher. So before I was a realtor in my past life, I worked in HISD and A-Leaf ISD as well. So schools are very interesting. I might have a different perspective than the typical person.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we got the panel.
Right.
Right.
So, there are great schools that are not perceived as great schools.
Okay.
So when you look at what is perceived, like if Katy, south of I-10, is golden for school zone, everybody wants to get into there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there's also really great schools in the energy corridor.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe not be like, okay, it's HISD, but they're still really amazing schools. Even I would say ISD is structured extremely well. If you have a child who's struggling, they have so much extra support, and they're actually recognized districts. But nobody thinks of it because they're like, oh, it's not a desired area, right?
Right.
So I would say it's a really highly personal choice as a parent. Now taking my teacher hat off and putting my parent hat on.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent, I may say I really want my child to be in, I don't know, Patterson Elementary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing about Houston, and this is where the no zoning comes in your favor, is that in Patterson, there's neighborhoods that are in the $250 range. There's neighborhoods that are $500,000, that are up to $1 million, right? But you have to be very strategic, like Corey was saying, is like, okay, if my budget is $300,000, I can go on these streets right here. And if something pops up, I need to be ready to go. And it may not have the pool that I want. I may replace carpet if I wanted. My backyard may be small, but if my number one priority is to get my kids into Patterson, I've got to give up some things to go there,
Gotcha. So you're saying don't necessarily believe the hype or the reviews.
Yeah.
So you got to do a little bit more digging, or get you a realtor that's an expert in that happen to be a teacher. They kind of know the inside, got to know the layout of the land.
I do.
Right. So shameless plug, right? You know what I mean? So all right, let's tackle this last question. So we got a few more minutes here. So let's tackle the big one, because I got a lot to say about this. So I'm gonna let y'all go first on this one.
Uh-oh.
This is personal. This is personal, and probably personal Corey too, because we the lenders on the panel. Let's talk about resale versus new build, and let's talk about some of the builders in this area, on some of the mischiefs and the mishaps, and or do you think they're great, or do you think they're bad? So let's talk about the builders. Let's talk about what would you advise a client right now, and give them the ins and the outs, the real. Let's talk the real deal. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's give them the real deal. So
I'll speak on that, because even with these companies, It really depends on who's building and who's managing the build on these houses in these neighborhoods. Because it could be an
Bingo.
amazing company, but that construction manager supervisor in the area could be terrible
Right.
and ruins the whole reputation for the company.
Right.
So you got to be very mindful. Like even people will even mention it in reviews online and everything too. So
Point.
and then so if you're thinking, especially if you're thinking price wise, if you're looking at resale versus new construction, if you're looking at a resale home in an area where there's new construction, you're more than likely to get a better deal on the resale because they can't compete with the builder.
That's true.
But on the flip side, you'll get more incentives working with the builder. So it all depends on what your needs are. And then at the same time, in addition to that, it's been great builders. I got a client now. They're buying new construction with a different builder because the builder that they built with before built the house incorrectly, and they've been in lawsuits with them for the last 4 or 5 years because they keep getting mold in their house.
Right.
So, and this is a reputable builder, but that manager on that location was terrible.
Right. Right.
So, like, that left a bad taste in their mouth. So they're very, on edge with dealing with this new builder, even though, they got a great track record. But those things come into play when, you want to get a phase inspection and make sure everything is built properly into code. So it all depends on what your strategy is and what your needs are when you're comparing resale and new construction.
Right. Before we leave off of you, what would you advise a client, a first-time home buyer, new build or resale?
I mean, like I said, it depends because you could get with a builder, I would say your best shot is getting an inventory home.
Okay.
Because these builders are trying to get those houses off their books. So this is the only time when you'll see them do a reduction in price. When you're building from the ground up, they don't touch the price at all. They may give you more incentives, but their price is the price. But if it's something that they have either in process or finished, they're trying to get there.
So you dodged the questions, man. What?
That's what I said. It's a
Resale?
loaded question. It ain't that cut.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's not I don't think that's not a black and white.
Right.
It depends. I mean, if you have a first time home buyer that doesn't have any money,
Right. All right.
well, that builder's probably going to be better for him because
Oh.
I've seen builders go 10, 15,000. We'll pay your closing costs and we'll do this and give you this.
Hey, I had a builder taking $100,000 off last year.
Really?
Oh, wow.
What?
Would they cut all the garage or what?
I don't know what they did, but that house they were taking $100,000 off.
Right.
Man.
All right, Barry, what you got?
Yeah, I would say this. They're pretty much the same thing. I think one of the fallacies people think that is because it's a new home that it's perfect or it's great. And when you said all that, it reminded me. I saw this video. It was on Facebook, and I think it was here in Houston where they did a. I don't know if we're not saying builders, but they were showing. They did a video on a builder, and they went inside and they showed how things weren't connected and were just hanging off. And I mean, this was a new house that people hadn't moved in yet, and it's like, that's a new quote unquote new home.
Yeah.
That I mean, it looked like the facade was getting ready to fall out. I mean, and so I've had some that were going to get one, and then when they got it inspected, they found a lot of flaws.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed, some builders they really don't like those inspectors coming out.
Right.
They do not like those inspectors coming out.
Yep.
Right.
But I mean, like I say, it would just depend on what the client had. And if the client, like I say, if the client doesn't have money, a new home, new construction might be better for them because they don't have to have any that much money up front.
But they have to have the down payment, huh?
Some of them don't. Yeah, depends on what program they get.
Right. And then they're not hit on the taxes just yet because it's new. So they tax that as just the lot value at the first year. So that the property taxes on the improved amount doesn't kick in until the next year.
You know, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, yeah, they might have that down payment, but maybe they don't have that 15,000 closing costs.
Right.
And then you got a builder saying, hey, if you use AB, care that for you, or you know.
Right. I feel a certain way. I
know you do. I know you do.
I was gonna
You
say,
and Corey, I know you do.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know
but I
Corey
was
feels
gonna
the
say-
same way. We feel a certain way about that.
Hey, I
We're
was
gonna
say,
go
though,
last. You know what I'm saying?
On the flip
Yeah, that's why
side, though,
I know that y'all want to do it last.
Yeah, we're
But
gonna go
I've
last
seen
because we
it.
got some. We
And,
got
at
something
the
to say
end of
about
the-
that.
At the end of the in December, I was seeing it was one bill, I think Highland. They were offering 20,000
Yeah.
to use for buy down and anything
Cap.
you wanted.
It's all cap. We're gonna get to. We're gonna get to that. That's cap.
but I was gonna say on the flip side though, especially for those people that are worried about, you know, whether the house is put together well, you want to go with a resale because time will tell whether they put that house together well or not.
Yes.
And then the way, especially the way the soil is at Houston and foundation shift a little bit and all that, you'll really get a chance to see how it really does after the house has been around for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a house that's 2 or 3, maybe 4 years, that's perfect.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. That's still new.
Yeah, it's still new.
We gonna talk. I'm gonna talk. Zay, go ahead.
But
You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. I answer myself. If I was a buyer, I love resale all day long. I love the old character and the rich character there are in older homes. I feel like a lot of times they're constructed a lot better. They also have like really amazing things. You know, you can get them for a lot cheaper in the location that you want.
Mhm.
So if I was a buyer, I love resale. I'll take resale all day long, right?
Yeah,
Because-
you're earning brownie points with me. You're earning brownie points. So,
But new construction, I mean, it's up to everybody. And I do agree 100%. If you're going to get a new construction, they should not be one of those buyers that's like, oh, I don't need an inspection. Like it's new. No, definitely get your inspection. I could go with stories. My agent was representing a buyer for one building. They put a 4-inch pipe in a 3-inch wall.
Mhm.
So the wall was like sloped.
Right.
You know, and there's another story. My inspector, he found the pipe wasn't connected. So when he turned on the water, the whole ceiling leaked and got heavy and fell down.
Right.
So, I mean, again, inspection, resale or new construction is super important.
Right.
But these builders are getting desperate this year after the pandemic when they were all like, oh, no, we're not paying realtors fees. They are sending me emails every single day. 5% BTSA, come to our party, give you lunch, like all of this stuff. So it is it is very good time to buy a new construction. But for me personally, I like resale because, like, again, comparing $300,000, a resale house, I feel like you get much more space.
Right. More bang for your buck.
Versus like new construction is like a long box, you know, and you know, it's just new. Not
that's all you get.
yeah. Exactly.
That's all you get. Corey, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you warm us up, but I'll let you go first.
Look, I would love, you know what I'm saying? I got so many stories about builders and new construction and all this other stuff. I could probably go ages and ages on just stories.
Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna get into the stories.
But you know what I'm saying? I think to kind of tap on the same thing that they said, you know what I'm saying, it just depends on the buyer. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody's preference is a little bit different. If you're asking me if I'm a buyer, I like more bang for my buck. So you know what I'm saying? I like my dollar stretch a little bit. I like a little bit more space. It just seems, you know what I'm saying, new construction now, they're building less and charging more.
Right.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying, a lot of people are paying astronomical amount of money for these properties. And, you know, it's just brand new. But if you have a big family or something like that, you know what I'm saying, your dollar can go a longer way and you can get a lot more square footage for your family not only lot size, but actually house size if you go with a resale.
Yeah.
So you're saying my preference would always be kind of resale, but you're saying sometimes you run into those, single people, whatever, you know what I'm saying, that's a little bit nervous about what if this breaks down, what if that breaks down. I'm nervous about this, that, and the third, and it's just them. Then you know what I'm saying, maybe new construction is not a bad thing to look into. You know what I'm saying, especially if you're worried about the AC going out or whatever. But I'm always going to go with resale if you're just asking me, because I think, you know what I'm saying, you'll stretch your dollar. A lot of these newer houses, not only are they making them smaller, they're making them closer and closer. You can look out your window and wave to your neighbor or even shake their hand because the houses are that close. You know what I mean? So all I would say is, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to new construction versus resale, just do your research. Look at the pros and cons of both of them, and then decide what's best for you and your family.
Right. And let me roll up my sleeves. There's so many angles I could go with it. I ain't gonna get into the horror stories and all the stuff I experienced firsthand that I've seen for myself. So this is not secondhand story. I can get into all the horror stories, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and then I think it should be closer to Georgia, Texas. They should have some legislation should be done to kind of put these builders in check. Because I think Texas is kind of like the Wild Wild West, where these builders, they think they're so big they can't be touched, and the only person that suffers is the client. Because we gonna get paid. They're gonna buy a house somewhere. They're gonna get something. So we're gonna get our commission, but they got to live with this. You see what I'm saying? So the client suffers, and they're not able to get the best service and the best choices because a lot of these builders strong on them, and they don't have a say, they don't have the voice, because they're not going to go through litigation, so, but this to say this, I want to talk about how it amazes me that the old retail trick, because I come from a retail background, I own my own retail business for 15 plus years, then I got recruited by Mattress Mac. So I was a training and development manager at Gallery Furniture for 6 years. So, but in retail, what we used to do, we'll mark it down to market back down, mark it up to market down.
Yeah.
So that's all they're doing as far as the house, so they gouging the price, and then, hey, we'll give you $15,000 towards closing costs. And oh, by the way, I own the mortgage company as well.
and I'm connected with the title company.
And I'm connected with the title company, so I'm getting your money all
and
kind
the
of
home
ways.
insurance company.
So I think your incentives, and then I think as a salesperson, your incentives shouldn't be towards where you steer the customer. Just like they put legislation on us where we can't steer the customers into a product that benefits us. It should be the same way with those builders, those sales people at the building centers. They're steering the customers, not the beneficial to them. It's beneficial to that salesperson, which I think is immoral and unethical. So it should be what's best for the customer, not what's best for your pockets.
And as a buyer, you need to have a good realtor to look through those contracts from those builders too, because they got so many loopholes to get them out of.
Right. That's what I wanted to get into.
Important. People think that with new construction, I don't need a realtor. I just go with the
Yes.
agent.
Right.
The sales agent is representing the builder. They're not representing you. So
Right.
Everybody's representing the builder. You're out there by yourself.
yeah.
Right. So let's get into that. People most likely don't read the fine print.
They don't.
Most of the fine print tells you, I give you a couple, I don't want to name no names, but some of the big builders in this area, you can't burn candles. It voids your warranty. Seriously, it's in the contract.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, the little stuff like that, you got HOA restrictions where you can't do anything. You violate any HOA, they can kick you completely out. Anything voids the contract. It's all, the contract is catered in their favor. So why would you, unless you're a lawyer, why would you sign something that you didn't read the fine print on?
Shoot, they didn't read the bold print because it's sometimes it's
sometimes
Right.
They're just going through signing.
That's
they
the
don't
thing.
read anything, just sign it.
Then I don't know. I've had this happen in 20. It was 20 or 21. That was no, that wasn't our customer. That was this. This was I think they had. I had one where they sold it from underneath the guy.
Yes, I was just getting ready to say that.
Yeah, me
You know?
too. I was just
So he put the deposit down. Somebody came with a bigger offer. They that's sold.
Yep.
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 You know,
Yep.
so they
And it's in the contract, and there's nothing they can do about it
Right.
because it's in there.
so
Yeah.
all the horror stories I've been through. You know, but and these companies have no remorse. They don't care. These builders have no, and it's I don't want to say it like that all over the nation, but Texas I think is a couple of degrees worse for some reason. I just have,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm wrong in saying this, but I think like builders licensing laws are very lenient in Texas than they are in other states.
right,
100%.
right,
100%.
right. So, and again, the customer suffers. The only thing, if the only lure is that it's new.
Yeah.
Let's get into with Barry, with Corey and Azalea was talking about is for more bang for your buck. It's almost the same, not quite, but it's similar to buying a car with 0 miles. Because they gouge so much, you're gonna be flat for the first few years, unless another pandemic comes by.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a resale, I give you an example. If somebody, it works out better for everybody because you're going to get that character, you're going to get a more bang for your buck, and the buyer, I mean the seller, a lot of times, you know, they're not going to gouge you like a builder will. They just want to make a little bit.
Yeah, they can't gouge you.
They
They
can't,
gotta
you know,
get afraid.
They can,
right?
yeah.
So there's law. So the builder, there's no regulation. It's whatever they could get for it.
Yeah, once they get one comp, they all sell for that.
Right, and a lot, that's rigged, but I don't want to get into it. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, why pay more? Why pay more? And then I think Corey said as well, you got a lot of cookie cutter. Why your house? That's what I'm suffering. My house looks just like my neighbor's house. Same, it's identical. You know, so I mean, you don't have the character.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know, like a car. You 0 miles, or you get that you know, BMW that's 2 years old. It's just as nice, but I'm getting more bang for my buck. You know, only thing is that the only thing, and that's cap as well. That is brand new because you got 1 million builders been in there. You know, they done walked across it. You know what I mean? And they, you know, so it's not like you. Yeah, they didn't use the bathroom in it. You're not the first to play. You think you're the first that it ate. You know, that it ate lunch and everything in there. So it's not the first dinner. You know, so that's cap. You know, so you thinking, oh, this is the first. Nah, you're not the first.
Yeah.
You know, so you're just paying for a delusion. You know, so this is my personal belief, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass it for the, you know, because we're right at the 8:30 mark. Yeah, we right on time. So my personal belief is this: I believe in new construction if you're gonna build yourself, and it wouldn't be my first house. I wouldn't do it as a first-time home buyer. I would let my first few houses facilitate my dream home. And then when I do build, I'm gonna go build the land. I'm gonna build it custom. You're not gonna see my house or my blueprint anywhere else like my neighbor. So if I'm gonna pay that type of money, and I'm gonna pay premium penny, I want the most for my premium penny. I don't want to have my I paid $1 million for this shirt, and the dude, you know, that's in the club next to me got the same shirt on. That's what you're doing when you know, you like that. You ever been to the club and the dude that got the same shirt on, or like, damn, you want to get up out of there. So that's, you know, why are we doing that with houses?
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm gonna pay all this money, I want something that you can't see anywhere else. You know, so that's my personal thing. If I'll do it, I'll do a new home, but it's gonna be custom. You know, and I'm not going to pay for it. I'm gonna let my renters pay for it. I'm not gonna pay that money out of pocket like that. I don't get why they do that. It's just not good economics.
Yeah.
You know, so last thoughts, and then we could go ahead and wrap up. Anything y'all want to add to the panel? Any other thoughts? Any other questions y'all might want to ask? Anything else? Anything news or anything this week?
Man, nah, I actually made a post, I think it was yesterday. HAR dropped some data and just showing how the market did versus 22 compared to 21. And it took a nice hit. Like number of listings dropped, closings dropped. So, and that's what I said on my post is like, if you know what you're looking at, you should be salivating at these numbers.
Right.
Like it's a good, if you're thinking about buying, it's a good time to buy.
Right.
Because we're seeing that adjustment in price. Things are getting back to where they need to be. Instead of people paying 50, 60 grand above ass and all that outrageousness, we're getting back to what real market value is. And now we got sellers. If you're selling right now, you're motivated. So you got a motivated seller that'll work with you too.
Right. Well, it just depends on you want to be early to the party or late to the party.
I mean, if you're gonna be late, you're gonna pay. You know how they say, like you get in free before 10.
You get it free before 10. You get the best spots too.
Pay extra.
Yeah.
You get the best spots too. You gonna have to park on the street.
Yeah.
You get in there late.
Yeah.
And the security can't see your car. So. Man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Let's go ahead and take it out. Corey, go ahead and tell them where they can find you. We're going to just go counterclockwise. Corey, tell them where they can find you.
No, that's fine.
The outros.
All right. Either give me a call. Number's 832-297-7659, or you can shoot me a email at smithmortgageteam@gmail.com.
Gotcha. No, you still ain't on social yet?
Nah, man, I'm still working on
it. Corey tapped in over there.
It's in development.
Right.
It's in development.
My sector and you are like the last two people off of social media.
Yeah.
So that's why Corey and I get along. We polar opposites. You know what I'm saying? I've been social media since day one. How long you been in business?
Man, shit, since 08, 09, whatever that is.
Okay, yeah. So CJ and I started at the same time. We're about 6. This is going on our 7th year in. So, but we've been social media since day one. So, so this different. Man, I thought dinosaurs died out, man.
We still holding steady.
Azalea, tell them where they can find you. Tell them, the whole spiel.
Sure. I mean, of course, you can always call me. That's the best way, or text me 713-304-5361. I'm on Instagram at azalea.realestate. I'm on Facebook, Azalea Mathis at Energy Realty. And I'm on YouTube as well, Azalea Mathis, your Houston area real estate agent. So follow me, and hope to get to work with you guys.
Gotcha. All right. Barry, let me get you prompted up. Here we go.
All right, Barry Boston, Keller Williams Professionals. You can call me at 832-786-1270. Google Homes by Barry B. You can get me on my IG, Facebook, TikTok. Have a YouTube channel. You can email me, barryb@homesbybarryb.com. Buying, selling, or investing in the Houston area, and I can help you.
Gotcha. CJ.
All right. What's up, everybody? CJ the broker with Greenwood Realty Group. Check me out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. It's CJ Sales Texas. That's CJSELLSTX. So follow me on that. Throw me some questions in my DM if you got questions, anything like that. Hit me up. Check out the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. If you're interested in getting a list of new homes, get signed up. Check out the YouTube channel. We're showing our luxury edition of home tours on there, showing you what some of the best homes Houston has to offer. And the YouTube channel for that is CJ the Realtor. Then also we got our nonprofit where we're giving back our young men, teaching them knowledge of self-improvement and entrepreneurship. That is the Mansa Academy. Check out the mansaacademy.org. Sign up if you want to donate your time or money go in there and fill out the form.
Gotcha. I'm gonna make my outros real quick, man.
Let's see how fast you can do it this
Let's see
time.
how fast I can do it, man. Yeah,
Let me see.
right,
Here we
man.
go.
Applywithb.com, man. If y'all ready to get a mortgage, this is the actual site. You can book me for a Zoom as well. Everything's on the site. If you want ebooks, is ready as well. At BNL Loan Officer on all social media, y'all follow me. I'm on all platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Twitter, Truth Social. I'm on them all. So, at BNL, TikTok as well. So, at BNL Loan Officer on all social media. You can just Google me, BNL Loan Officer, or you can Google Brandon B. Dixon. I'm branding both. So go to our website, HoustonCondoSales.com. It's special it's a special website just for condos, townhouses, and high rises. So we curate the best of the best for you, for Houstonians by Houstonians. Challenge me, man. I got the best rates. Period. If I don't have it, Corey got the best rates. So either way, we got the best rates because we are brokers. We have no overhead. So you can challenge me. Get your Chase pre-qual, get your credit union pre-qual, put it up to what's today's race.com, and I guarantee you will beat it. Period. What's today's race.com. Also, YouTube, 3 shows: the Power of Ownership podcast, Behind the Sauce, and house tours with CJ the Realtor, the Lux edition, where we touring the $1 million homes. We got 5 new episodes dropping this week should be. So I went crazy this weekend. So we got some nice, man. They got a $2 million one that's you got to see this theater on this thing. So y'all stay tuned to that. Y'all like, subscribe, so on and so forth, man. So y'all tune into our weekly webinar on all social media platforms called We're Talking Real Estate. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30. We extending the olive branch. We're trying to help you. So we're gonna bring you the best of the best knowledge. We're gonna bring the best minds. We're gonna keep continue to do it. So with that, we're gonna say peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.
All right.